Hello, and thank you for staying with Football Planet. It's your weekly 100% football event on Africanews. And it's always a pleasure to share with you the passion of the most beautiful sports. Coming up, Morocco competes to host the 2026 World Cup. The Cherifian Kingdom is making big promises if they are named as host nation for the 2026 World Cup. The Club Africa Cups delivered their verdicts this weekend. We know all the qualified teams for the group stage in the Champions League and playoffs for the CAF Cup. We'll bring you the list of qualifiers and results of the 16th finals return. Also, Egyptian striker Mohamed Salah is in the news. His 4-goal league win over the weekend makes the 2017 African Player of the Year somewhat historic. Details of these and more shortly. Hello again. Let's begin the program with the 2026 World Cup and Morocco's bid. The Cherifian Kingdom on Thursday made it official and began campaign. The Moroccan authorities are hoping that this fifth attempt will be the right one. Its organizing committee met the press on Saturday. Elvis Bo and John David Mihamle have more details.
Morocco has submitted its bid to host the 2026 World Cup. The kingdom on Friday unveiled 14 stadiums and 12 cities considered fit to welcome the various teams expected to participate in the event if they are retained. Football officials in the country are confident that their file will go through. Morocco can be retained. The most important thing is, first of all, to present the technical file at the international level. That has been done and deposited. Now we have to follow up to ensure that enough work is done by the federation, which has connections all over the world. So Morocco has every chance to be retained in this bid for the 2026 World Cup. After 4 failures, Moroccan authorities believe changes within the world's football governing body will play in their favor. At first, FIFA did not give all the chances that Morocco deserved. Probably that's what I read in newspapers. Like you and I would have loved that Morocco can have all its chances and that no one touches them. But according to media reports, that was not the case. So let's turn the page. What is of interest to us now is to see who will host the 2026 World Cup. That's all. But it might not be an easy task following the unique bid of Canada, USA, and Mexico. FIFA is expected to select a winner on the 13th of June.
Yes, a difficult battle scheduled for June 13 in Moscow on the sidelines of the 2018 World Cup. This meeting has been shaken by the diplomatic row between Russia and the United Kingdom. Despite threat of boycott by the Brits, the Russians are reassuring. Amel Inga and Victor Muisio explain the details.
Russia 2018 World Cup chief executive of the organizing committee Alexei Sorokin has played down UK and Russia tensions affecting the World Cup as London considers boycotting the event to protest the poisoning of a former Russian double agent on British soil.
No, this has no effect on the World Cup. We still go on with our preparation. We rely on the premise that football is beyond politics. We do not see how any political turmoil can change the course of a good football event in Russia.
Some British officials have suggested boycotting the Russia-hosted World Cup later this year after British Prime Minister Theresa May said earlier this week that it was highly likely that Moscow was responsible for the attack on Sergei Skripal and his daughter. The 2018 World Cup runs from June 14th to July 15th and is Russia's first attempt at hosting the world's most viewed sporting event.
Far from this diplomatic turmoil, representatives from Africa intend to take full advantage of the next international truce. This truce is particularly marked by the return of Yaya Touré to the national team. The former captain of Côte d'Ivoire's Elephants returns to the national team 2 years after his international retirement. The 33-year-old Manchester City midfielder is short of club time. But is he really the Messiah the Elephants have been waiting for? Barbara Ludo and Amelia Nachitimbo have the answer.
As if that's just what they were waiting for, 3 months after announcing his intention to leave his retirement, Yaya Touré has had his wish granted. The former captain of the Elephants has been summoned for 2 friendly matches on the 24th and 27th of March against Togo and Moldavia. In fact, this Yaya Touré comeback has raised some questions. If his experience and his past in the national team go in his favor, it's obvious that his club status is problematic. What can a player who has played very little this season bring to a team in search of a new impetus? Yaya Touré only played 6 league matches for a total of 97 minutes. These figures are not reassuring, especially since the former Barcelona player has not played with the Elephants for almost 3 years. At 33 years old and with a physical form not to the top, Yaya Touré does not have much substance to offer anymore, unless the national team gives him a second lease on life. Coach Ibrahima Kamara has betted on the triple Ballon d'Or, a risky bet.
Let's now talk about the African Club Cups and the club at the end of the 16th finals. We begin with the Champions League, where we now know all the qualifiers for the group stages. Almost all the favourites have validated their tickets, even if some, like TP Mazembe, have had it very tough. Here's the complete results. Also, in the CAF Cup, we know the names of the qualifiers for the playoffs with very few surprises. This is the case for the Congolese of La Moucha, who have qualified for the first time and are already planning for the next stage. Here's president of the club, Old Eric Mwandal.
We are trying to save the honor of Congolese football. We are not yet in the group stage. We played a high-scoring match. I think the hardest part has been done. It is now up to us to qualify for the next round of the competition, which would not be easy because we are going to meet a team from the Champions League. So we have to work hard. The difficult part starts now. I think we will not give up. So we have to maintain the goal that had been set since the beginning of the season. We must qualify for the group stage, because our country has 4 slots that we must try and preserve by qualifying a team to the group stage of the competition. That is the goal of La Mancha. We have 2 more games to play. We will fight for the matches and ultimately qualify to play in the group stage, and we will see the rest of the competition.
But until we reach the group stage, let's follow the complete results of the second leg of the round of 16 of the CAF Cup. The first day of the Champions League quarter-finals will be played on April the 4th, with the CAF Cup playoffs on April the 6th. To the European Champions League now, England's Liverpool-Manchester City clash and the 2017 Juventus-Turin-Real Madrid final remake puts them at the top of the quarter-finals. Barcelona and Bayern, on the other hand, have inherited Roma and Sevilla respectively. Here are some reactions after the draw last Friday in Nyon, Switzerland.
I see Juventus as strong like last year. I see them very competitive as ever. It's a team. It will be a match that will always be complicated, difficult, and as always, it will be 50-50. Let's play the first leg there, and we will see. We respect them a lot. All those stories that AS Roma is the easiest rival, I don't think so. I do not believe anything of that. But everything has to be a topic of discussion. But for us, AS Roma is a very complicated opponent. I have no doubt. We are FC Bayern Munich. We want to act with that self-confidence and show that we do not want to take part in that competition only. Because we might get far, but we want to win. Well, we are hungry. We haven't been in a final for quite some time, and we definitely want to be there.
And who can get Mohamed Salah off his little cloud? The Egyptian striker from Liverpool continues to upset the counters. The Egyptian, who scored his first 4 goals in the Premier League, confirmed his status as England's top scorer with 28 goals. This is simply the best performance of a new West recruit. For now, he's leading the race for the European Golden Boot and is only 1 goal behind an African player held by Didier Drogba. And that's it for Football Planet this week. You can find the show on our website at Africanews.com. Also, you can interact with us via the addresses currently displayed on your screen. I wish you an excellent week and look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same channel, Africa News. Goodbye.
Au revoir.